Leading edge right here, this Boeing segment right pushing close to Highway 43 in central sections of Franklin County. That's going to head right through Phil Campbell, so you expect wind gusts upwards of 60-70 miles per hour with that. So just like we said with the Limestone County storm, you need to get into that safe place and get to the lowest level of the home, an interior room, something without windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside of the home as you can. Even though we have not seen a lot of strong rotation with these storms, they are still producing damaging wind gusts, and that can be just as devastating as a low-end tornado. Whenever we start talking about the Arctic cold coming here into the valley, and we are talking about temperatures cooler than that 27 there, I'd like to play a little game called It Could Be Worse. Check this out farther to the north into Montana and North Dakota. These are straight air temperatures.
Definitely kind of warm in the 90s. That's going to take some getting used to.
Yeah, all those cooler days that we were dealing with in March where
Yeah.
everyone was just like, oh, I wish it would just warm up and be summer. You've got your wish. While satellites and modern radar like our own million-watt First Alert Doppler continue to improve and provide more accurate information, there's no substitute for a pair of eyes actually watching a storm. You can get up-to-date information as these storms start to track into the area with our First Alert weather app. We'll be streaming live coverage in the app as these storms approach. We'll also have that coverage going on Facebook Live on my page as well as the station page, and if necessary, we will break into programming right here on WAFF as well. Well, thankfully not out personally in the elements, but yes, the 48 First Alert Storm Tracker certainly is. We have been driving, we were around Decatur, we drove the Beltline and then Highway 20 back into town. Didn't see any major issues. Well, the way things stand now, I wouldn't anticipate any big problems with events going on this evening, at least here in the valley. It's a different story off to our north. Strong thunderstorms ongoing across parts of Missouri, Kentucky, Illinois right now, and we're starting to see the southernmost storms here drop a little farther south into Tennessee, and that trend should continue over the next several hours. So we'll fast forward here through 8:30, 9 o'clock. We could already see some of those storms that are starting to cross the state line, pretty much take a track right along I-24 through Nashville and down towards Chattanooga by 8 to 9 o'clock. Will be shortly after this time frame, 10, 11 o'clock, that we could start to see more of those storms dropping into some of our southern and middle Tennessee counties. But likely that most in North Alabama don't have to deal with any storms until after 10 p.m. So as we get closer to midnight, that's when the cluster of storms starts to drop its way into North Alabama. Along the leading edge of this, we're talking about the potential for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Certainly there'll be heavy rainfall and significant lightning along with these storms, and a number of these would at least be producing 35 to 45-mile-per-hour winds. The leading edge of that storm line starts to cross into southern parts of our viewing area by 3 to 4 in the morning, and after that point we're just looking at some steady rain hanging on for a few more hours, tapering off as we get into Sunday morning by 6 to 8 a.m. Cloudy skies can be expected, but most areas will be dry. Just a few isolated showers around on Sunday morning. We'll see more sunshine as we work our way into Sunday afternoon. Temperature around 80 degrees at the lunch hour, mid-80s for highs. Even though this particular run of guidance does keep things quiet on Sunday afternoon, we could see some pop-up showers and storms developing, but some of that is dependent on just how significant that wave of storms is coming in late tonight. Right now, million-watt First Alert Doppler pretty quiet here in the valley. Again, those storms ongoing off to our north. Temperatures in the mid-80s. We're at 81 right now in Scottsboro, so a little cooler there. 79 in Albertville, 85 in Decatur, 87, it's a little warm, 87 there in Florence, 84 with mostly cloudy skies at the International Airport. Great tool to have, our free First Alert weather app when stronger storms threaten, or we have just pop-up storms in general in the forecast. Got our million-watt First Alert Doppler radar right there, so you can check that radar out, see where those storms are, and then adjust your plans accordingly. You head to your app store and search 48 Weather to download that for free. So again, right now the stronger storms are off to our north, but these storms will start shifting south through Middle Tennessee, and one of these severe thunderstorm watch boxes that's posted here into northern Tennessee and most of Kentucky, it's what we call a particularly dangerous situation, a PDS watch, and you don't see those issued for severe thunderstorms very often, talking about the potential for 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts with those storms off to our north, but they will be weakening as they shift into the valley. Now that said, the cold front here still back into Oklahoma. That means as this system slowly pushes to the east, that front stays to our west tomorrow, meaning we could see another round of pop-up showers and storms developing, but for the most part on area lakes, we're dry through at least the mid-afternoon. It will be a touch on the breezy side, though, with a temperature in the mid-80s. And you want to have a way of getting that weather information, though, so our free First Alert weather app, great tool to have if you're out on the water as well, as you can check the radar and see when it's time to start coming in. Breezy winds can be expected over the course of the day tomorrow, up in that 10 to 15 mile per hour range with winds out of the south and the southwest. But again, not raining all day long. We'll see the morning round of storms and showers exiting, kind of a break through the middle of the day on Sunday, and then additional pop-up showers and storms in the afternoon. And I like what we're talking about right now. We could see a round of storms coming in late on Sunday night into the morning hours of Memorial Day. More pop-up activity for Monday afternoon. I wouldn't cancel any outdoor plans for Memorial Day or tomorrow, but it is a good idea to start thinking of a backup plan or somewhere you'd go just to wait a storm out, because that's the kind of activity we'll see, those pop-up hit-or-miss type storms all the way through Memorial Day.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, it's beautiful weather outside for any outdoor activities, as long as you don't mind the heat. That is going to be the common theme to the forecast this week. A lot of warm weather coming at us here in the valley. Live look from our Athens Alpha camera atop the Hampton Inn here, I-65 Highway 72. Smooth sailing traffic-wise, as you would expect around 10:15 on a Sunday evening. Clear and cool for your morning drive tomorrow. Temperatures upper 50s to around 60 degrees, so maybe a light jacket necessary early, but the weather shouldn't cause you any problems as far as getting from A to B goes. And if you need the long sleeves early, I don't think you need them for very long. By 9 o'clock, already into the 70s, so we'll call it short sleeve weather then, and into the 80s for the rest of the day. In fact, upper 80s for a high tomorrow afternoon, and we're closer to 90 degrees for those highs for the rest of the week. The hot, dry weather continuing on Wednesday. A little more cloud cover on Thursday, but I think we stay dry on Thursday afternoon as well. And again, highs should be close to 90 degrees all week long, so hard to believe today's high of 86 may turn out to be the coolest afternoon we see this week. A little more humidity coming in Friday and Saturday. Temperature likely to not be quite as high then, and we're also looking at the potential for a few isolated thunderstorms developing Friday and Saturday as well, but the chance remains very low in any one spot, so likely that we do have some of you that stay dry all the way into next weekend. 64 right now, Scottsboro. We're at 63, a nice and comfortable 63 there in Meridianville, 65 in Athens, but still 70 in Albertville and 70 in Fayetteville, Tennessee. Nothing to show you on our 1,000,000-watt First Alert Doppler radar, but like I said, as we get closer to the weekend, there will be a little bit better chance for those pop-up showers and thunderstorms, but high pressure controlling our weather for the time being, and that is keeping things nice and quiet. This high will slowly drift towards the southeast, and as that happens, our winds become more southerly, so that warm, humid air starts to flow in off the Gulf of Mexico, and you'll start to notice a little bit of a difference in the mugginess by Thursday or Friday, but no rain showers expected before then, so if you need to get the car washed, I say go for it. Should be just fine early in the week, and even on Friday, just a low chance for a pop-up storm. But one thing that does mean, with the lack of rain here in the valley, our rain deficit will grow. The drought conditions could get a little bit worse, and there's nothing to scour that pollen out. We're about 3.5 inches below average for rain for the year, so we're going to be closer to 4.5, 5 inches by the time we finish out this week, and that grass pollen is going to be staying in the high range all week long. But if you have some free time, maybe you want to get out and play a round of golf tomorrow. Beautiful weather for that. Head out early, though. Temperature around 60 degrees at 7 o'clock, but we're already into the 80s by 11, 87 at 1, and your high tomorrow into the upper 80s. The wind not too strong out of the south and the southwest, right around 5 miles per hour, and it should be calm in the morning. Not too bad if you need to do a little yard work too. Just again, get out there as early as you can. Temperatures will be into the upper 80s for highs. Heat index not right in line with that actual air temperature, but it's still hot, especially in that direct sunlight, so make sure that you're staying hydrated. And if you have a chance to take the boat out on the lake, beautiful weather for that. We'll see plenty of sunshine during the afternoon tomorrow with that light wind. Temperature into the upper 80s for a high. Plenty of sunshine all afternoon long. But you will want to remember that sunscreen. In fact, that's something you don't want to forget if you're doing any extended outdoor activity. It doesn't matter if it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, at any point this week, you've got a pretty high risk of getting that sunburn. If you go out there unprotected, could take less than 20 minutes. So make sure you remember that sunscreen if you are headed out to do anything for an extended period of time. Highs this week around 90 degrees all week long, so make sure you're staying hydrated as well. Isolated pop-up storms possible Friday and Saturday. Could see a more significant weather maker heading into the valley Sunday into Monday, but timing's still a little up in the air on that, so make sure you're checking back throughout this week for more on that particular aspect of the forecast.
All right, looks like summer is here.
Oh yeah, definitely be feeling like it, especially by Friday and Saturday.
All right.
Not seeing any indications of strong rotation, just very strong winds. Where you're seeing those blue colors, that would represent winds that are in excess of 60 miles per hour. So that would be our severe wind gusts right here along the leading edge of that cell getting into Limestone County. So this will be just on the north side of Athens. So Elkmont and Ardmore down the line here, that's where we're looking at the most powerful part of that cell moving through.